So this is my second week of the assignment here in Kampala, in Uganda. And I wanted to post some videos before, but there were two reasons why I couldn't do it. First one is that the weather has been a bit miserable around here, believe it or not. In the last couple of days it has been raining heavily, and it has been cold and windy and cloudy, and it actually reminds me a lot about England. So it was very difficult to actually do any shots outside, but now it seems that it's actually pretty good. The second reason why I couldn't do it is because during the weekend my phone mysteriously disappeared from my pocket. This happened in a bar. Uh, I was having some drinks with some new friends, and when I went to the bar, when I approached the bar to buy another round of shots, I realized that I don't have the mobile with me. So there you go. I lost the smartphone that I was using to record the videos. However, it was not a big deal. Almost all the information that I had was stored in the cloud, and the phone actually was insured, so it was not really that bad. Today, I would like to go back to the topic that I started in my previous video, and that is microfinance. A friend of mine approached me asking me why did I give such a boring definition of microfinance, and he might actually have a point. If you see that video, you will see that I present microfinance as financial services for the poor. But this is different from the standard image that you will see of microfinance, which typically is a tiny cash injection that you give to a person in a low-income community, typically a woman. And with this small loan, what you're doing is to unleash her creativity and her entrepreneurial spirit. And what you're expecting is that this person is going to use that money to set up some business. Perhaps she's going to buy some goods and sell them at the premium. Now, what you're doing by providing these small amounts of money is to trigger this beautiful chain reaction in which this person is going to be generating income that hopefully will allow her to escape the trap of poverty. This is a very powerful image that my dry definition, I'm sure it won't be able to capture. And I think the problem with my definition is that precisely it uses the expression financial services. I wouldn't blame you if you don't get extremely excited or thrilled when you hear financial services. A few weeks ago, I was in a party and I was talking to this person that I've just met. When I told her that I was a mathematician and that I was working in a bank, I saw in her face some disappointment, and she asked me why, with my mathematical skills, I was not doing something much more exciting. Now, this perception that financial services might not be that interesting or important or exciting are also shared by some people that are actually working in the financial industry. I was reading a book of financial mathematics the other day, and the author at some point was presenting this technique that he made the remark was used by people that are calculating trajectories of spaceships going to the moon. And in a footnote, he apologized, saying that, of course, sending ships to other planets is a much more interesting and important exercise than working on financial derivatives. It was as he was apologizing about using those exciting techniques in the context of finance. Now, let me give you my favorite example of someone working on the financial industry and having doubts about its importance. This comes from Paul Volcker, who was the head of the Federal Reserve. And in an interview a few years ago, he said, the most useful financial product that has been invented in the last 20 years is the cash machine, the ATM. And I don't know what you think when you hear about financial services. However, I do believe that to move forward this conversation about microfinance, I need to highlight the importance of financial services for everybody. Are financial services relevant at all in our lives? I did the following exercise. I wrote down all the different financial services that I have used and enjoyed in the last 10 years. And I came out with a list of 25 items. This is a list of 25 different types of financial products that I have used. Saving accounts, current accounts, different types of investing, different types of savings for different types of periods. Simple things as an Oyster card that I use to pay the bus. There are different types of insurance: medical insurance, disability insurance. There is even the insurance of the phone that I lost this weekend. Student loans, checks, although I don't use them anymore. Different instruments to invest, forex platforms, wire transfers, PayPal, credit cards. 25 different types of financial services that I have been using. And I was thinking, what would have happened if I didn't have any of this? For some of them, the impact would have been quite mild. It would have been perhaps something a bit annoying not to have. In some other cases, actually the impact would be quite severe and I would not be able to actually function. Have you ever seen one of those documentaries in which a person is trying to live according to certain rules for a prolonged time? I'm thinking, for example, a documentary of this guy that was eating only McDonald's. Now, here's an idea for a TV show. What about spending a year without using any financial service other than cash? If you think about it, that TV show would be quite dramatic. And that is because you wouldn't have the ability to function in society in a normal way. And I'm not only just thinking about living and working in England, but also in Colombia and Vietnam and here in Uganda. Financial services allow you to function in a society. And actually, I would go as far as saying that without financial services, you will not meet requirements for living a life with minimum quality and dignity. Now, if that applies for you and for me, what makes it so different for the poor? Now, that's all what I wanted to talk in this video. It's time for me to go back home, have some dinner, and perhaps go to bed early. I hope to see you soon in my next video. Bye bye.